Okay, good evening, folks, and welcome to another ISRT Tandoori Spice Race live stream of sea cat mostly, but we will be focusing on the other cats as well. We have a couple more minutes before the race starts, so let's just wait and let them get warmed up. Okay, and that's A cat. A cat started. Since I've signed up in the C cat, we'll need to wait till they start, and then we can jump over and see what's happening in A as well as B. 'Alright, so we have about 45 seconds to this start of the race. This time around we are in New York City, and I'm sure many of you guys have already ridden in Central Park, the mighty Metropolitan. It's a nice map. It's got some proper climbs, proper 10%, 12% gradients. So let's see how this race pans out. 5 seconds, here we go. It's going to be a hard start. People pushing out some solid numbers. 300 watts. Yeah. Zwift races are always super hard. They start like crazy, putting out crazy numbers. So we have quite a big bunch of Indians here participating in CCAT, which is kind of why I always focus on this. It's fun for me to watch how my friends and other riders from my country are doing. And we already have someone that's dropping off the back, but he's putting out some crazy numbers to catch back on. If he stays on this, he can catch up 300 watts, but that's pretty tough. Let's see how it goes. Slowly catching back on. Oh. Come on, Karthik. Come on. You can catch them. 3 seconds. Yeah, he's putting out some crazy numbers. But the problem is that in Zwift, even if you're putting out high numbers like this, the peloton always rides faster for even a slightly lower wattage. It's the draft effect. Just can't do anything about it. So you can see that you know, in the group, these guys are doing about 250, 270 watts, which is about 3.5 watts per kilo. And they are still slowly pulling away. So you can see that the distance between the bunch here and Karthik now is about 5 seconds, which is a shame because he's a strong rider. He's been to the Nats a couple years ago, so. But yeah, he's been riding now and he's back, so it's good to see him on Zwift. And even if this is not the race, I'm sure in the future he's going to be battling with these guys for the podium very, very soon. So back to the bunch, and we have Mowgli. He's a past winner in these ISRT races. We have Shreyas, who's also a past winner, been on the podium quite a few times, both these guys. And we have someone from the ISRT team. So this is always a fun bunch to watch. Okay, let's jump over to B and see what's going on over there. So these guys have already, oh, we jumped over to A. And this is Mayank. Mayank is slowly getting dropped off the back of the front bunch. He's doing 6 watts per kilo to get back on. Man, that's crazy. That shows how strong these riders are. It's just insane, the watts that they put out. Okay, jumping over to B. Oh, looks like Mayank is done. Is he done? I hate this interface. It's not stable at all. It just keeps jumping around. Okay. Alright, so we have a bunch of guys here from ISRT BCAT, which is good. Always my support for Indian racers in Zwift. Okay, so Mayank is dropped and he's just kind of spinning it in now. The BCAT guys will slowly catch him up, and maybe he can form a little group with them and bring it in. So we have Ronnie here. He's a past winner. He got disqualified because he was in CCAT and he put out more watts per kilos than the recommended amount for C. But he's a strong rider, so he definitely belongs in B. Okay, back to the CCAT, and yeah, now they hit the climb, and this is where the separation is going to happen. Those who have good steady state power, who can hold their FTP or above with good cadence specifically, they are going to slowly pull away from the others, and you can already see that it's getting strung out. It's a single line, and yeah, these guys are again putting out close to 4 watts per kilo and maintaining good cadence, and that's the most important thing. I keep talking about cadence, and you guys might be wondering, you know, why is this guy so adamant on cadence? It's just it's really simple science actually. You when you're climbing up, you just want to keep your muscles fresh, and imagine you're walking around with a 100 kilo load on your back. You won't be able to walk around much, right? That's what grinding does to you pretty much. If you grind, you're just going to load up your muscles and you're going to get tired. So yeah, reduce the load, you know, make it easier for your muscles and spin up. And there is a saying called spin to win. So yeah, the guys who spin to win, they're definitely up at the front. So Let's just watch these guys now. That's Anuka. I think this is the first time I'm seeing her in a race, so that's fantastic. It's really nice to see her participating, and she's actually pulling the group, so that's fantastic right there. And we have Karthik Raja. He's from Chennai as well. I believe his friends refer to him as the dinosaur. Um, Maybe Mike, if he's watching this video, he could tell me why. And then we have a few other guys from India as well. So again, DCAT. Uh, it's good to see so many Indians participate. The bunch is getting strung out over here. So Shreyas and Moli, they are kinda sitting in about 4th, 5th, 6th positions. There's a small bunch about 4-5 seconds ahead of them. So if they can make up this gap, that'll be great. They need to work as a team for sure. Yeah, these three guys are now, they've formed a small group, and you can see right up front, just about 30 to 40 meters ahead, those guys are slowly just pulling away. There's a 4-second gap now. So if these guys can work together, they can definitely catch back on. So looks like Moli and Shreyas and this Japanese guy, they are working pretty well. They've kind of formed a little bunch here, and the distance between them and the front bunch is about 4 seconds. They're maintaining that. Yeah, these rolling sections, they really take a lot out of you, especially if you have a smart trainer and your difficulty setting, trainer difficulty setting is set to 100%. It just hits you like a brick wall. And yeah, if you don't have the right gearing, you're just gonna have a really tough time. And looks like Shreyas is making a small move by himself, or is it that he kind of just pulled away a little bit? But yeah, he's kind of sitting alone in between the front two guys and Mowgli and the other guy behind, Japanese guy. Um, yeah, these guys are doing some solid numbers. So I think Mowgli and the Japanese guy might bridge back with Shreyas, and three of them will work together again. This is pretty awesome to watch. Shreyas is kind of maintained that little gap, and he's actually caught up. I mean, he's brought down the gap between the front two guys and himself from 7 or 8 seconds to about 3 seconds now. And Mowgli and the Japanese guy are about a second behind. So if they both bridge with Shreyas, maybe these three guys can work together and pull away from the other two guys up front. We'll see. This is fantastic to watch. Bridging a gap in Zwift is no easy task, so these guys have definitely earned some kudos from all of us. This is awesome to watch. Anuka and Karthik Raja, they're working together and they're sitting in second and third places respectively. This is just awesome. Looks like they have a pretty manageable, sizable gap between themselves and the following guys in D Cat. So as long as they maintain their wattage and as long as they keep working together, they should be fine. Something's wrong. Mowgli stopped cycling for some reason. I don't know if he's had some network connectivity issue or something else happened. But that's a shame. He was doing so well to catch back on to these guys, and it looks like the Sea Cat is again getting spread out. So now Shreyas is working with the Japanese guy. That is such a shame. So looking at the wattage for the two guys up the road in CCAT, they've been constantly putting out more than 4 watts per kilo. I have a feeling they might even get kicked out. As you guys know, Zwift is pretty strict about your watts per kilo, so if you don't belong in this category and you're putting out watts, you know, crazy watts for this category, then yeah, it ends up kicking you um, at the end of the race. So let's see. And looking at the power numbers, um, these guys are putting out some solid power in DCAT. I'm a DCAT rider as well, and you know, I'm just amazed looking at these power numbers. Seriously, kudos to these guys. And Mayank has a solo descent, I guess. He's on the way back. Okay, back to CCAT. Look at that gradient, 15%. It's just insane. His cadence is dropped to 80. Shreyas is a spinner, so looking him, you know, pedal at 75 or 76 RPM, that's something new. He's usually always above 90 RPM, so that's an indicator that he's definitely suffering. Again, his heart rate is above 190 as well, so sufferfest for sure. So if you see the other two guys in CCAT who are up the road, um, they had about a 3 or 4 second gap over Shreyas and the other Japanese guy. And now they have like a 30, 32, 33 second gap. That shows that they were putting out way too much power for CCAT. They probably should be belonging in B. So in all likelihood, they'll probably get kicked out. So if that's the case, then Chase is probably sitting in second place. We'll see. I think his goal now is to catch up to the Japanese rider and maybe win this race. It's He's got about a 2-second gap that he needs to bridge across to. Let's see. And these two are still going strong. That's awesome work by them, and probably going to finish out the podium, both of them. So it's wow, he's doing 25 RPM. My goodness, his legs must be on fire. But he's putting out the power, so I guess that's all that matters. Back to C-Cat, and yeah, Shreyas is slowly getting dropped by the Japanese rider. It's about a 6-7 second gap now. These rollers are really just a pain in the ass. Looks like Mayank found himself a bunch of B-Cat riders, so he's just sticking with them and bringing it home. And it looks like Anuka's pulled away from Karthik Raja. Um, she's actually okay. She's been caught by another guy called Tompkins, so she's working with him now. But Karthik is now sitting in fourth. He's about 14, 15 seconds behind. Still, this is fantastic work by both of them. It's probably looking like Shreyas is going to finish solo. Um, the guy up ahead, he's slowly pulling away, and folks behind him are really far back. So, in all probability, he's probably going to be, well, according to this race, he's been fourth, but we'll need to see if they get disqualified, the first two guys, and also in Zwift Power, the rankings will be slightly different. and we are coming up on the finish. A nice hard gradient just before the finish banner. So again, good job to all the racers, and this time around the bunch wasn't together, which is a bummer. It would have been fun to have more folks for sure. But thanks guys for watching, and hope to catch you all in another Zwift race next time around. Cheers.